From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same, and it is a cloudy day in LA, but it's all good. It should be heating up a little bit sooner, but hey, it is what it is. You're here with your boy. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. The NBA playoffs are absolutely crazy right now. I'm telling you, bro. Mavs have a big shot at beating the Clippers in the first round. Series price is 4-1 for a Mavs win in the series. So that means that the Mavs have to win the series. It doesn't matter if it's game 5, 6, or 7 or game 4. But I truly do think that the Mavericks do have a big shot at beating the overrated Los Angeles Clippers. I think simply because the Clippers, as I told Mike yesterday on the show, the Clippers chemistry just isn't there to me at this time. And I feel like this is a magic moment for Luka Doncic, who's going to be a guy that's going to be highlighted a lot in this playoff. And I feel like he's coming of age. And this time around, knowing that they could have beat the Clippers last year, they're going to be all in on this game, all in on this series to go ahead and get themselves a big win. Now they're not in a bubble. You know what I mean? And with their type of thinking, all they got to do is win one game in LA and they can win this series and just sweep out in Dallas, which is very possible because they've been playing great basketball at home the last 2 months. And I just really feel that the Clippers, with all this in and out the lineup mess that happens with both of their star players, that it may be a little bit too late to try to save this thing. Kawhi Leonard's already can opt out this summer. He's in a long-term he's in a big money contract, but not a long-term contract. So there's a possibility he could say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to test the market again. And, you know, pretty much this all rides on the Clippers and what they can do in this playoff. I really do feel like the Clippers are going to be a little bit out of wits because the thing is they have no consistency. Even though they win a lot of games, but you see who they lose to at the same time too. And then you see that there's a lot of moments where this Clipper team, they just don't finish. So this is going to be huge. This could be a huge situation. This is a 4-5 series as well, too. I think that this is an overstretch when you got a Mavs team that's 4-1 to win the series, but you're 4-5, and usually those seeds are literally identical. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I think that this will wind up being a pretty fun series and a profitable series for people who are going to bet, you know, the whole full series. So I would say get that Mavs ticket for 4 wins in this series. And I think that this series winds up ending in 6 games. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the Knicks and the Hawks. Knicks and the Hawks have the most intriguing series in all of the NBA. This series is star power galore of young stars. You got Trae Young, John Collins, 2 really, really fun players. Then you have Julius Randle. Also, you have JT. You got the boy JT Barrett, and pretty much you got yourself a very, 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 very fun situation going on with these two. Then you got a vet in Derrick Rose, and then the Hawks got their vet, Lou Williams. So when you match this thing up, it's going to be pretty much, as we like to say, primetime TV, baby. It must watch. You know what I mean? And The last time the Knicks were like this relevant and having this much buzz, the NBA was still on NBC. So it's pretty fun to see the Knicks back in the fold, and they're going to play the Hawks. And this is going to be fun. I can see 7 games coming out of this series as well, too. And I can see a lot of great moments happening in the series as well. I look forward to it. And sorry about that. I call him JT Barrett. It's RJ Barrett. Sorry about that. So pretty much RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Derrick Rose, these guys, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. And it looks like that possibly that if the Knicks can maybe push the, really push themselves, they could possibly play the Nets in the conference final, because I have to remember that the Philadelphia 76ers are actually the 1 seed. And as I've been saying for the last 3 months, that the Philadelphia 76ers are probably the team to beat, honestly, in the East as well, too, because Joel Embiid is still an MVP type player. Even though he got hurt for a bit and he fell out the top 3 of the race, if he doesn't get hurt, he probably wins the award this year, and he still has a strong possibility of doing that as well, too. But we'll get to that when we get to talking about the Sixers, and we're not talking about them today. So there it is, Knicks, Hawks. I look forward to it. I can't wait for the weekend and get into all these NBA playoff matchups as well, too. All right, so we move on to our next topic at hand, and pretty much, man, this is going to be another NBA playoff note that I have here. Can the Bucks really put it together when it counts? This team is still dangerous because you know what? Without all the extra attention this year, Giannis just killed it. I think Giannis was better this season in the 2 back-to-back seasons as the MVP, but he didn't get as much love because the jury's out on Giannis and the Bucks that they can't finish in big games, big situations. Very understandable. That's just the way of the world. You know what I mean? And fool me once, okay. Fool me twice. You know what? Shame on you. And they're reminding me a lot of the old Supersonics. Supersonics had a hell of a team. Very, very good team. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, all these guys, really, really good. But they had issues in the playoffs, big issues in the playoffs. Getting put out as the first seed by 8th seed. Then had to deal with the Lakers for years in the first round as well, too. And, just constantly coming up short. And pretty much that's the Bucks for you right now. And then when you have one of the player that's a game changer like Giannis, it creates more pressure because they had 2 seasons where they were the back-to-back number 1 seed. And both seasons they had implosion moments, but not where guys couldn't get along. It was just that when you look up, you have yourself a team that winds up actually losing because there's just way too much emphasis on having Giannis do 80% of the work, and he's still polishing his game up to be like how most American ball players are. He was kind of robotic when he came to the league, but he had a lot of length and a lot of upside. Now that upside has been met. And the thing is, though, he hasn't really evolved. So they are waiting for this guy to evolve somewhat into being an all-around player and really being the guy that can be a force like a LeBron James. But at this point right now, he's going to be just a very high-end athlete, very high-end role player. And I think that he's going to have to step it up tenfold for this Bucks team to really feel like they have an opportunity to do anything in this playoff, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. But before we do that, check out hackclub.com. You guys go ahead and put a $50 order down. You guys will get a 10% discount on that as well, too. So once again, that's hackclub.com. You guys go ahead and get that drip, and you guys will be able to get yourself a 10% discount on any $50 order or better. So we will be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube. Time for Blue Crew Daily. And the Dodgers are smoking hot right now. Winners of their last 7 out of 8 games. We don't have starting pitchers announced as of yet. They're still going through the rosters and things of that nature to see who they're going to throw out there. The Dodgers will probably do a reliever type situation today where they get a lot of pitchers in there to go ahead and finish up this series. But the Dodgers are on their A game as we speak. The Dodgers, as I said before, won their last 7 out of 8 games. They've won the first 3 games of a 4-game series here against Arizona, winning 4-2. The night before winning 9-1, and then the next night winning 3-1. So this Dodger team is doing exactly what spread bettors want them to do, and that's absolutely win the game and win by more than 1 run. So that's good for people that have been betting at 1.5, which usually could backfire for you in the first, about 35 games for the Dodgers because they weren't playing that good. But right now, they are absolutely crushing it. So I really do like what we're seeing here with the Dodgers and the clash that lies ahead with the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are absolutely crushing the Reds right now. The Reds are down 14-1. So that's pretty wild in itself as well, too. Now, pretty much the Dodgers won 4-2. They're going to get ready for this clash in San Francisco. This is going to be a huge, huge series early here in the MLB season. But it's not an end-all, be-all series as well, too. But the Dodgers do have to go ahead and initiate some things real quick. Get out of this third-place hole that they've been sitting in for the last month and get themselves back in order. And it all starts with the trip to San Francisco. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And this is going to be a very, very good series. And tonight's game is going to be a very good game as well, too. So let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out, and we move on from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our MLB games of the day. And it's going to be the Marlins at the Phillies. This is an NL East rivalry game as well, too. Not really a rivalry, but they're in the same division, okay? So, when it comes down to the Phillies, their rivals are the Braves and the Mets and teams like that, teams that been with them for years, you know what I mean? Because the Nats are even kind of new to the party as well, too. So those 3 right there that I just named, they're a legacy. So pretty much Phillies Marlins is newer, and I've never seen them say we have ourselves an ultimate rivalry here. So when I'm looking at this game, I got the Marlins here we had them at minus 105. They dropped. They've actually been bumped up to plus 100. And then we have the Phillies who are minus 115 before I put this out, and they're actually minus 120. Then we have Sandy Alcantara as our pitcher for the Marlins today, and his ERA is 4.06, and he's 51 strikeouts over 16 walks. And then we have Vincent Velasquez. He is 37 strikes over 19 walks. So this should be a pretty good game, but we all know that Vince can get really hit. So I think that when it comes down to it, this one will wind up going over the 8. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Marlins at the Phillies. So let's see how it goes. We move on to our next one. We have the Pirates at the Braves. The Pirates coming into this game struggling. Pirates had won some games in a row, but they've dropped their last 3. Now you got a Braves team that is now recovering from a 3-game losing streak where they lost 3 in a row, including 2 out of 3 to the Mets as well. So now they're back in the fold. They're trying to go ahead and get back into the groove of things and get themselves a nice win today. But you know what? The Pirates won't be any pushover, but I still think that this will wind up being a game that comes down to the Braves just absolutely annihilating things. So instead of taking the minus 200 today, invest in the spread. And that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. Now we have ourselves the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. The Red Sox and the Blue Jays coming into this one, they both are once again AL East rivals. So we got ourselves in store for a really good game tonight, in my opinion. So thing is, when you got the Red Sox plus 110, you got the Blue Jays minus 135. And then when I look at exactly where I'm going in this one, I'm going to say to myself that, you know what? Everybody's going to probably bet the over, but I think that it falls just short of the over and actually stays under the 10 that they have here. And they even have bet it down to a 9.5. So there's something there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this as a plus 10 today. But if you go to the store, it will be a plus 9.5. I mean, not the store, but if you guys go to your book right now, it'd probably be 9.5. But you know, maybe it might be 10.5 in some places as well, too. But all in all, though, this is a really good spot. This is a really good game. And I do feel like we can go ahead and get this one home. So let's see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We move on from there. All right, we have ourselves a good one between the Twins and the Angels. The Twins are actually coming in to visit fairly early. But thing is, though, they have a doubleheader set. But from what I'm seeing here, it seems like it's just one makeup game before you move on down to the next opponent. So pretty much the Angels want to go ahead and get into this game and get some good reps, get some good at-bats, and move forward, try to get themselves out of this funk that they're in. You know, they thought cutting Albert Pujols would be helpful, but all it's done is help the Dodgers have more confidence in repeating as a world champion. So hopefully everything will work out in a sense for all these teams. But all in all, the Twins coming here ready to get a big victory today. And then you got the Angels coming in here trying to, you know, stay afloat. You know, they're playing bad baseball right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And I'll have your answer in a moment when we go through the All Sports Primetime Pick 6. All right. So we have the next game up, which is going to be, well, we have a commercial coming up. So pretty much with that, you guys check out Fubo TV. You guys will reap the benefits from this as well, too. This is your one-stop shop for all sports. You guys can go ahead and get horse racing, boxing, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, cricket, rugby, tennis, golf. Should I go on? Oh, you get it all. So check them on out, Fubo TV. Start your free trial today on me, and you guys will get 7 days free. And then once you sign up, you guys will pay $55 a month for all sports and all the dope movies and a lot of live content as well, too. So give them a shot. Fubo TV, well worth the price of admission. With that, we will be right back. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live.
The Vigod app, where social media meets sports betting. Get the latest line movements in all major sports. Track your daily bets, daily contests, the NFL over-under contest that pays out $10K in cash prizes. This is a cutting-edge app that helps betting be easy. Sign up with the reference code POPDBIC and you will be able to watch my daily show, The Primetime Angles, as a resource to building that bankroll. Vigod is available in your Apple or Google Store on your iOS or Android. The social sports betting app, Vigod.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, here we are. We are back here for the stretch drive of the show, and let's get into some hoop, but let's go ahead and talk about the state of the Lakers first. Oh boy, man, oh man, what a night last night. Lakers down 13 at the half, but if you are a true Laker fan, you knew that there was a comeback in play. The Warriors weren't good enough to beat the Lakers by 30 points last night, unless they just literally did not show up for the game. So now the count to championship number 18 is going to be for 16 more games. All right. So the Lakers get their plan. They have a Sunday game that's going to be a matinee. That's going to be on ABC's, be the feature game of the weekend as well, too, against CP3 and crew. And you know why the Lakers are there? Because the Lakers are the NBA cash cow. So pretty much Lakers last night had a hell of a game. But, you know, I be dogging them out. That's not fair of me to do that because this season, I guess Steph Curry must have saw me early in the year, you know, on his head. And this guy literally has been the man this year. If any year he was supposed to get MVP, this is the year. He's shooting the ball lights out. He's one of the toughest matchups in basketball. And last night, everything was on display with Steph Curry. And you know what? To all my people in the Bay Area, all my people in Oakland, San Leandro, all those places, it was tough looking at my Lakers beat y'all because there's always an appreciation to the Warriors as well, too. Now, when it comes to the Kings and Clippers, we all can't stand those teams. But the Lakers and the Warriors have a certain respect for each other, and it's been going on my whole life. You know what I mean? From the days of Chris Mullin, Tim Hardaway going against Magic and Worthy, you know, it's always been respect at the end of the day. And now we saw last night that the box office series for the NBA playoffs, as I said to Mike yesterday, should be the Lakers and the Warriors in the conference finals. That makes the most sense. That gives you the most storylines. That's going to be the most fun. But both these teams have a long road to get to where they need to get to. But this is the most wide open you've ever seen the Western Conference this year when you have your best teams at the bottom this year. You know, the Blazers were supposed to be a top 4 team in the Western Conference this year. You know, the Clippers were supposed to be top 4 as well, too. They are, but they almost fell into being the 5th seed. You know, when you looked at teams like the Mavericks, the Suns, and the Jazz, you would have thought 6, 7, 8, right? But no, you got 1, 2, 3, 5 right there. You got 1, 2, 5. And then if you would have had a Jamal Murray on the Nuggets, they would have been the perennial favorite to get to the finals this year because of the effort Jamal put on last year in the playoffs. But last night, AD and LeBron showed how dominant they are in a team setting. And they got back to normal. So if you're a little team in the league, the Lakers are going to dominate you, in my opinion. But the Lakers cannot start quarter halves that flat. They were unbelievably flat to start that game off. But I know the Warriors came in there with a lot of momentum from winning 6 in a row. The Lakers had just won 5 in a row. And so, you know, the Lakers, I would say, were a little bit tired, but the Warriors weren't. And once the Lakers got into the groove, LeBron took over. AD did his thing, took over as well, too. And there we are. We have ourselves another Laker close victory. LeBron James hits the clutch shot at the end of the night to give the Lakers the go-ahead. And Lakers win 103-100 in an absolute classic against the Golden State Warriors, who I know won't be going away anytime soon. So we'll see how it shakes out, see how it goes. And that is the state of the Lakers. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the NBA games for tonight. And we only got a few games tonight. Up first is the Storm at the Lynx. The Lynx coming here plus 4.5 at the house. We got an over-under at 164.5 as well, too. So, the Storm got shellacked the other night, and Lynx actually lost the other night as well, too. So you got two winless teams going at it here. Storm on their first road game of the year as well, too. So I think what happens here is that you can go ahead and trust the dog, which is the Lynx, but you don't trust them to win the game. You trust them to go ahead and cover the plus 4.5, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So Storm at the Minnesota Lynx tonight. This should be a really, really good game. Let's see how it shakes out. Now we have the Pacers at the Wizards. Pacers at the Wizards. It's going to be another good spot. Pacers coming in here. Big blowout win over LaMelo and the Hornets. But this ain't LaMelo and the Hornets. From what I saw, the Pacers can get worked by any team in the league if they're not focused. So if the Pacers have some type of focus going into tonight, they could have a big shot of, upsetting Russell. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to it, you guys are just going to understand that this is a pivotal playoff game for Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, and they are a well-deserved playoff team. If they get put out by the Pacers, it's a little unfair, but it makes sense because you are going into the March Madness form of, picking and recruiting and things of that nature. But just all in all, though, man, just make sure everything is A1. You know what I mean? So pretty much we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. I love the Wizards tonight. I think that they can win this game. We'll see how it goes. Let's move on, talk some tickets. And while we're talking tickets, let's go ahead and check it out. All Sports PIK6 is 48-1. We got the over 8, Marlins, Phillies. Then we have the -1.5 with the Braves. We got the under 9.5 with the Red Sox, Blue Jays. The Twins money line -120. The under 237.5 Pacers, Wizards. And then we have the plus 4.5 on the Lynx tonight. We're going to see how this shakes out. We're going to see how it goes. But that is talking tickets for you today. And we have plays from the MLB, plays from the WNBA, and plays from the NBA tonight. So don't ever say I didn't get you anything, okay? So with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and you guys check out YouWager, where the world bets at, and you guys can go ahead and get yourself a 50% match deposit, and you guys will be able to move yourselves into this category of where I'm at, sports betting. And you guys pretty much will get a free play from them. So if you put up 300, they'll give you back 150 in a free play, and boom, your sports betting journey begins. Okay, so checking on out YouWager, where the world bets at. Let's see how it goes, and you guys enjoy that. All right, so that's going to be a wrap on today's show. I want to thank my graphics producer for putting out some more dope graphics as usual. My man, all the time, Money Akil. You guys look him up on the Twitter. He'll be able to situate you guys as well, too. He does do graphics, and he does do them at a great price as well, too. So check my guy out. One of my good friends in life, period, in general. We do is more than this internet stuff. So I want to send a big shout out to my dog. He's been doing a great job as of late. So, we're looking forward to big future endeavors as well, too. So keep following the journey. And I also want to send a big shout out to Viva Promotions as well, too, on some, great deals that we've been making a lot lately as well. So I just want to send some love. Stable Duel as well. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow doing horsing around and everything like that. Big shout out to Bree and Brian. So that's it. And guys, and big shout out to Jeff and Mike for being on the show this week as well, too. So it's been a great week. I'm just very happy where things are going right now. We got big things on the way for this show and big things on the way for Prime Wave Media as well, too. So you guys keep following the movement, man, because it is moving. And always bet with your head and not with your heart. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.